Imagine a world without wedding marches, without shimmering concertos. It's hard, isn't it? Now imagine a young man, barely out of his teens, composing masterpieces. This was Felix Mendelssohn, a true prodigy, his life a symphony of talent, passion, and innovation. Mendelssohn's story is not just about the music he created, it's a world of elegant salons where the brightest minds gathered. A world on the cusp of change, where romanticism began to bloom. This is the world into which Felix Mendelssohn was born in 1809. Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy, a name synonymous with Romantic-era brilliance, was born into a family where intellectual curiosity and artistic expression were woven into their lives. His grandfather, Moses Mendelssohn, was a renowned philosopher of the Jewish Enlightenment, while his father, Abraham, was a successful banker and patron of the arts. Felix and his sister Fanny grew up surrounded by music and stimulating conversation. Their home was a vibrant hub of intellectual and artistic exchange. This rich cultural milieu nurtured Felix's prodigious talent from an early age. Abraham Mendelssohn spared no expense in nurturing his children's talents. He recognized early on the extraordinary gifts both Felix and Fanny possessed. He provided them with the finest tutors, ensuring they received a well-rounded education, encompassing not just music, but also languages, literature, and philosophy. Among these esteemed mentors was Carl Friedrich Zelter, a prominent composer and the director of the prestigious Singakademie in Berlin. Zelter, a strict but inspiring teacher, instilled in Felix a deep respect for classical forms and counterpoint, the building blocks of musical composition. Under Zelter's guidance, Felix's talent blossomed. He soaked up knowledge like a sponge, mastering the intricacies of harmony, counterpoint, and orchestration with remarkable speed. Zelter recognized in Felix a rare talent, a spark of genius that deserved to be nurtured and challenged. Felix, in turn, responded with enthusiasm and dedication to his studies. He spent countless hours practicing, composing, and absorbing the wisdom of his mentor. Zelter, though a staunch traditionalist, saw in Felix a kindred spirit, a young composer who could bridge the gap between the classical and the emerging romantic styles. While Felix was garnering attention for his musical prowess, his sister Fanny was blossoming into a talented composer and pianist in her own right. The bond between the siblings ran deep, fueled by a shared passion for music and an understanding that transcended words. Fanny, 4 years Felix's senior, was his closest confidant, his fiercest critic, and his greatest champion. They spent countless hours together playing music, critiquing each other's compositions, and engaging in lively debates about music and art. Their musical partnership was one of equals, each inspiring the other to reach new heights of creativity. However, societal norms of the time cast a long shadow on Fanny's aspirations. While Felix enjoyed the freedom to pursue a public musical career, Fanny's role as a woman of her social standing was largely confined to the domestic sphere. Despite these constraints, Fanny continued to compose prolifically, often sharing her works with Felix, who deeply admired her talent and encouraged her to keep writing. Many of Fanny's compositions were initially attributed to Felix, a testament to the synergy of their musical minds and the societal limitations placed upon women in the arts. One of the most significant events in Felix Mendelssohn's early life was his role in reviving interest in the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. Bach, a towering figure of the Baroque period, had fallen into relative obscurity after his death in 1750. In 1829, at the age of 20, Mendelssohn organized and conducted a performance of Bach's monumental St. Matthew Passion in Berlin. This landmark event, the first performance of the work since Bach's death, had a profound impact on the musical world. It sparked a renewed interest in Bach's music, leading to its widespread rediscovery and appreciation throughout Europe. Mendelssohn's championing of Bach had a profound impact on his own musical development. He was deeply moved by the mathematical precision, emotional depth, and spiritual resonance of Bach's music. This influence is evident in Mendelssohn's own compositions, where a clear and elegant structure, reminiscent of Bach's style, underpins his romantic expressiveness. Mendelssohn's efforts brought Bach's genius back into the light, ensuring his rightful place as one of the greatest composers of all time. As Felix's reputation as a composer grew, so too did his desire to experience the world beyond his native Germany. Travel, in the Romantic era, was not merely a leisure activity. It was considered essential for personal and artistic growth. Mendelssohn embarked on several grand tours throughout Europe, immersing himself in different cultures, soaking up new sights and sounds, and drawing inspiration from the landscapes he encountered. His travels took him to the sun-drenched cities of Italy, where he marveled at the Renaissance masterpieces and the vibrant street life. He ventured to the rugged beauty of the Scottish Highlands, where the wild landscapes and ancient folklore sparked his imagination, leading to the creation of his evocative Hebrides Overture. These journeys broadened Mendelssohn's musical horizons, infusing his compositions with a cosmopolitan flair and a romantic sensibility that resonated with audiences across Europe. The early 1830s marked a period of great creative ferment for Mendelssohn. He was composing prolifically, experimenting with different genres, and honing his unique musical voice. His travels had broadened his artistic horizons, and he was eager to translate his experiences into music that would captivate the world. In 1835, at the age of 26, Mendelssohn achieved a major career milestone when he was appointed music director of the Leipzig Gewandhaus Orchestra, one of the most prestigious musical institutions in Europe. This appointment solidified his position as a leading figure in the European musical scene, providing him with a platform to champion new music, including his own, and to shape the musical tastes of a generation. Under Mendelssohn's leadership, the Leipzig Gewandhaus Orchestra flourished, becoming renowned for its high standards of performance and its adventurous programming. Mendelssohn's tenure in Leipzig marked a pivotal chapter in his life, a time of great artistic achievement and personal fulfillment. A Midsummer Night's Dream music of magic and mischief. Imagine a moonlit forest, fairies flitting through the trees, mischievous sprites playing pranks. This magical world has its own soundtrack, a score so enchanting it transports you. This is the magic of Felix Mendelssohn's music for Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. The overture bursts with energy, its shimmering strings and playful woodwinds conjuring the fairy kingdom. The iconic wedding march blends with the overture, capturing romance, comedy, and magic. Symphonies of emotion, painting landscapes with sound. Beyond the realm of fairies and dreams, Mendelssohn poured his heart and soul into symphonies, those grand orchestral canvases upon which composers paint their most profound musical landscapes. Mendelssohn's 5 symphonies, each a world unto itself, offer a glimpse into the composer's evolving musical language and his deep connection to the world around him. His Italian Symphony, the 4th, is a burst of Mediterranean sunshine, its bright melodies and infectious rhythms capturing the warmth and vibrancy of Italy. Inspired by his travels through the country, Mendelssohn infuses the symphony with a sense of joy and exuberance, reflecting the vibrant colours and lively spirit of Italian life. In contrast, his Scottish Symphony, the 3rd, evokes the rugged beauty and haunting melancholy of the Scottish Highlands. Inspired by his visit to Scotland, Mendelssohn captures the essence of the country's landscape and folklore, from the windswept moors to the ancient castles perched on craggy cliffs. The symphony's somber melodies and dramatic crescendos evoke a sense of awe and mystery, reflecting the power and majesty of the natural world. Each symphony is a journey, a testament to Mendelssohn's ability to translate his experiences and emotions into a language that speaks directly to the soul. The romantic piano, a virtuoso's instrument. The piano, that king of instruments, found a passionate advocate and a virtuoso performer in Felix Mendelssohn. A gifted pianist from a young age, Mendelssohn possessed a remarkable technique and a sensitive touch, allowing him to produce music of exquisite beauty and expressiveness. His piano concertos, particularly the Piano Concerto No. 1 in G minor, are staples of the Romantic repertoire, showcasing his brilliance as both a composer and a performer. The concerto bursts onto the scene with youthful energy, its virtuosic piano passages soaring above the orchestra, while moments of lyrical beauty and tenderness reveal the composer's depth of feeling. Mendelssohn's solo piano works, too, are gems of the Romantic era. His Songs Without Words, a series of short lyrical pieces, are miniatures of emotion, each one capturing a specific mood or feeling, from gentle melancholy to playful exuberance. These pieces, though small in scale, are perfectly formed, each note carefully considered, each phrase imbued with meaning. Mendelssohn's piano music, whether in its grand concerto form or its intimate solo expressions, continues to enchant audiences, offering a glimpse into the heart and mind of a true Romantic master. Section 4, Songs Without Words, Miniature Masterpieces of Emotion. Imagine a melody so evocative, so filled with emotion that it speaks volumes without uttering a single word. This is the power of Mendelssohn's Songs Without Words, a collection of short piano pieces that capture a kaleidoscope of human emotions. These pieces, although brief, are perfectly formed, each one a miniature world of feeling. Some are filled with a gentle melancholy, their melodies drifting like autumn leaves on a gentle breeze, while others dance with a playful joy, their rhythms sparkling like sunlight on water. Mendelssohn's gift lay in his ability to convey complex emotions with an economy of means. He understood the power of a simple melody, a well-placed chord, to evoke a world of feeling. Songs without words are like musical sketches, capturing fleeting moments of joy, sadness, longing, or tranquility, allowing the listener to bring their own experiences and emotions to the music. These pieces have resonated with audiences for generations, their universal appeal lying in their ability to speak directly to the heart, bypassing the need for words. Sacred sounds, faith, and music intertwined. Mendelssohn's deep spirituality found a profound outlet in his sacred choral works. Raised in a home where faith was valued, though his family converted from Judaism to Christianity, Mendelssohn retained a deep respect for his religious heritage, and this reverence shines through in his music. His Elijah, a monumental oratorio, stands as one of his most powerful and enduring works. Telling the dramatic story of the prophet Elijah, the oratorio is a work of epic scope, filled with drama, passion, and moments of sublime beauty. From the fiery pronouncements of Elijah to the tender prayers of the Israelites, Mendelssohn captures the full range of human emotion within a framework of faith. His other sacred works, including his anthems, psalm settings, and smaller choral pieces, are equally compelling, demonstrating his mastery of choral writing and his ability to infuse music with spiritual depth. Mendelssohn's sacred music is not merely devotional, it is a testament to the power of faith to inspire and uplift the human spirit. The legacy of the lied giving voice to poetry. Mendelssohn's love affair with music extended beyond instrumental forms to embrace the human voice. He was a master of the Lied, the German art song, a genre that reached its pinnacle in the Romantic era. In his Lieder, Mendelssohn set the poetry of Goethe, Heine, and other Romantic poets to music, creating works of exquisite beauty and emotional depth. His Lieder are characterized by their sensitivity to the text, their melodic beauty, and their ability to convey a wide range of emotions. Mendelssohn understood that the human voice, with its nuances and expressiveness, could add another layer of meaning to poetry, and he used his musical gifts to enhance and illuminate the words he set to music. From the passionate longing of Auf Flügeln des Gesangs, on wings of song, to the gentle melancholy of Frage, question, Mendelssohn's Lieder capture the essence of Romantic poetry, giving voice to the joys, sorrows, and yearnings of the human heart. His contributions to the Lied repertoire solidified its place as a major genre within the classical canon. Felix Mendelssohn stood at a crossroads in musical history, a bridge between the elegant restraint of the classical era and the passionate outpouring of the Romantic movement. Imagine a composer equally at home in the structured world of Mozart and Haydn, yet drawn to the emotional intensity of Beethoven and Schubert. This was Mendelssohn's unique gift, the ability to synthesize these seemingly disparate styles into a harmonious whole. His music, while imbued with romantic fervor, never abandoned the clarity and balance of his classical predecessors. His melodies, while deeply expressive, retained a sense of elegance and refinement. His harmonies, though enriched with chromaticism, never strayed far from tonal clarity. Mendelssohn's genius lay in his ability to balance these contrasting impulses, creating a style that was both innovative and accessible. He embraced the emotional depth and expressive freedom of Romanticism, yet never relinquished the formal discipline and structural integrity he inherited from the classical masters. Mendelssohn's music is characterized by its impeccable craftsmanship, its seamless fusion of form and content. He was a master of musical architecture, able to construct complex structures that were both logically sound and emotionally satisfying. Think of a grand cathedral, its soaring arches and intricate stained glass windows, all working together to create a sense of awe and wonder. Similarly, Mendelssohn's music, from his symphonies to his chamber works, exhibits a remarkable attention to detail, a meticulous crafting of musical ideas into coherent and compelling wholes. His themes, often simple and memorable, are developed with remarkable ingenuity, subjected to a dazzling array of variations, modulations, and contrapuntal interplay. Yet, for all his structural rigor, Mendelssohn never lost sight of the expressive power of music. His forms, while meticulously crafted, were always at the service of the emotional content. He understood that true musical beauty lay in the perfect balance of head and heart, of intellect and emotion. Mendelssohn possessed an uncanny ability to evoke a world of colors and textures through the medium of the orchestra. He approached orchestration not merely as a matter of assigning notes to instruments, but as a painter approaches a canvas, blending hues and shades to create a desired effect. His scores shimmer with a kaleidoscope of orchestral colors, from the delicate whispers of flutes and clarinets to the thunderous pronouncements of brass and percussion. He understood the unique character of each instrument, its strengths and limitations, and he exploited these qualities to create a rich and varied sonic tapestry. Listen to his Hebrides Overture, for instance, and you can almost feel the salty spray of the sea, hear the cries of seagulls, and sense the vastness of the ocean. Mendelssohn's orchestration, always imaginative and evocative, transported listeners to distant lands and conjured up vivid images in their minds. Mendelssohn's contributions to music extend beyond his own compositions. He was a passionate advocate for the music of the past, particularly the works of Bach, Mozart and Beethoven, which he championed throughout his career. He recognized the timeless beauty of these masterpieces and believed it was his duty to share them with the world. But Mendelssohn was also a visionary, a composer who understood that music must evolve and adapt to reflect the changing times. He encouraged young composers, promoted new music, and experimented with new forms and styles. He saw no contradiction between honoring the past and embracing the future. Indeed, he believed that the two were inextricably linked. Mendelssohn's legacy, therefore, is not only as a composer of enduring beauty and originality, but also as a custodian of musical tradition and a catalyst for future innovation. While Mendelssohn's music is firmly rooted in the Romantic tradition, his innovations in form, harmony, and orchestration left an indelible mark on the course of Western music. His influence can be heard in the works of later composers, from Brahms and Wagner to Mahler and beyond. His emphasis on clarity, balance, and formal discipline provided a counterpoint to the more extreme emotionalism of some Romantic composers, helping to shape a more restrained and refined Romantic idiom. His innovations in orchestration, particularly his use of color and texture, paved the way for the Impressionist composers of the late 19th century. Moreover, Mendelssohn's rediscovery and championing of Bach's music had a profound impact on subsequent generations of composers. It sparked a renewed interest in Baroque music and its contrapuntal techniques, influencing the development of neoclassical and neo-Baroque styles in the 20th century. Felix Mendelssohn's music continues to resonate with audiences today, its beauty and emotional depth as fresh and compelling as ever. His symphonies, concertos, chamber works and choral pieces are performed regularly in concert halls around the world, captivating listeners with their elegance, craftsmanship and timeless appeal. But Mendelssohn's legacy extends beyond the concert hall. His Wedding March from A Midsummer Night's Dream remains a beloved staple of wedding ceremonies, its joyous melody a symbol of love and commitment. His songs without words continue to enchant pianists and listeners alike, their lyrical beauty and emotional depth transcending time and place. Mendelssohn's music speaks to the very soul of humanity, expressing a range of emotions that are as relevant today as they were in the 19th century. His legacy is one of enduring beauty, innovation and inspiration, a testament to the power of music to transcend boundaries and touch the human spirit. Felix Mendelssohn found solace and inspiration in nature. He was a passionate gardener, nurturing life from the earth. After composing, he found peace among his plants. His letters reveal a deep affection for his garden. He meticulously planned his plantings. Mendelssohn's love of nature extended beyond his garden. He often sought inspiration in the hills and forests. His music, like the Hebrides Overture, reflects this love. Felix Mendelssohn's fame transcended geographical boundaries and social strata, reaching the highest echelons of power and influence. He was a favorite of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, both ardent music lovers who recognized and admired his genius. Imagine Mendelssohn, impeccably dressed, performing at Buckingham Palace, his fingers dancing across the keys, as the Queen herself listened with rapt attention. During one visit to England, Mendelssohn was invited to perform for the Queen at Buckingham Palace. He played his own compositions and improvised on themes suggested by Victoria, charming her with his wit and musicality. The Queen, deeply moved by his performance, described Mendelssohn as a very agreeable, unaffected person, in appearance very much resembling his pictures. Mendelssohn's connection with the royal family went beyond mere patronage. He and Prince Albert, an accomplished musician himself, shared a genuine friendship, bonding over their shared love of music and their intellectual curiosity. The Queen even requested that Mendelssohn dedicate his Scottish Symphony to her, an honour he gladly accepted. This royal seal of approval further cemented Mendelssohn's reputation as one of the leading composers of his time. It also speaks to the universal appeal of his music, its ability to transcend cultural and social barriers to touch the hearts of listeners from all walks of life. Felix Mendelssohn's life was enriched by deep and meaningful friendships, particularly his bond with fellow composer Robert Schumann and his wife Clara, a renowned pianist. Imagine the three of them gathered around a piano in a cozy salon, sharing their latest compositions, offering critiques and engaging in lively discussions about music and art. Mendelssohn recognized Robert Schumann's talent early on, championing his work and promoting his music whenever possible. He saw in Schumann a kindred spirit, a composer who shared his passion for innovation and his deep reverence for the music of the past. Clara Schumann, a brilliant pianist in her own right, was also a close confidant and musical collaborator. Mendelssohn admired her virtuosity and often sought her opinion on his piano works. Their friendship was one of mutual respect and admiration, a testament to the power of music to forge lasting bonds. These friendships were a source of great joy and inspiration for Mendelssohn. They provided him with a circle of like-minded individuals who understood the joys and challenges of a life dedicated to music. They also fostered an environment of creative exchange where ideas were shared, critiques were offered, and masterpieces were born. Just as his career was reaching new heights, tragedy struck the Mendelssohn family. In 1847, while Felix was on a concert tour, his beloved sister, Fanny, died suddenly from a stroke. Imagine the devastation, the unimaginable grief that washed over Mendelssohn upon receiving this news so far from home. Fanny was more than just a sister to Felix. She was his closest confidant, his musical soulmate, his biggest supporter. Her death left a void in his life that could never be filled. He poured his grief into his music, composing his String Quartet No. 6 in F minor, a work of profound sorrow and despair, as a tribute to her memory. The loss of Fanny took a heavy toll on Mendelssohn's health, both physically and emotionally. He continued to compose and conduct, driven by a sense of duty and a desire to honor his sister's memory, but his energy was waning. Less than 6 months after Fanny's death, Felix Mendelssohn himself suffered a series of strokes, his once vibrant life extinguished at the tragically young age of 38. The musical world was in shock. A bright light had been extinguished far too soon. Felix Mendelssohn's genius wasn't confined to the realm of music. He was a man of diverse interests, his curiosity extending to literature, art, languages, and even sports. Imagine him, fluent in several languages, discussing the latest literary masterpiece with equal passion as he would a Beethoven symphony. Mendelssohn was an avid reader, devouring books in multiple languages. He was particularly fond of the works of Shakespeare, Goethe, and Byron, their poetry fueling his own artistic imagination. He was also a talented artist, his sketches and watercolors revealing a keen eye for detail and a love of nature. Furthermore, Mendelssohn was a skilled chess player and an enthusiastic horseback rider. He enjoyed lively debates and intellectual discussions, his wit and intelligence shining through in every conversation. He was, by all accounts, a charming and charismatic individual, beloved by his friends and admired by all who knew him. Felix Mendelssohn's life, though tragically cut short, was a rich tapestry woven with threads of music, intellect, creativity, and love. He left behind a legacy that extends far beyond the concert hall, inspiring generations of musicians and music lovers with his genius, his humanity, and his unwavering belief in the power of music to touch the human soul. A legacy unfading, the enduring magic of Mendelssohn. Felix Mendelssohn's music continues to resonate in grand concert halls and intimate spaces. Imagine a world without Mendelssohn's wedding marches or fairy dances, no soaring symphonies capturing nature's soul. It's a world lacking the joy and beauty Mendelssohn poured into every note. Thankfully, we are not condemned to such a world. Mendelssohn's legacy continues to inspire and uplift, transporting us to realms of magic and wonder. Beyond the notes, a life that still speaks. Felix Mendelssohn's story is one of musical genius and a life lived to the fullest. Born into privilege, he championed other composers and nurtured young talent. His letters reveal wit, intelligence, and compassion. He wrote about compositions, sunsets, and conversations with friends. Mendelssohn celebrated the interconnectedness of music, nature, and art. Echoes in eternity Mendelssohn's gift to the future. Generations have come and gone since Felix Mendelssohn penned his final masterpiece, yet his music remains as vibrant, as relevant, as deeply moving as ever. His melodies continue to weave their magic in concert halls, in classrooms, in homes around the world. His scores, those intricate tapestries of sound, continue to challenge and inspire musicians, pushing the boundaries of technical brilliance and emotional expression. But Mendelssohn's greatest gift to the future may be his enduring belief in the power of music to transcend boundaries, to forge connections across cultures, languages, and time itself. In a world often fragmented by division, Mendelssohn's music reminds us of our shared humanity, of the universal language of emotion that binds us together. When we listen to Mendelssohn, we are not just hearing notes on a page, we are experiencing the depths of human emotion, the joys and sorrows, the hopes and dreams that connect us all. His music is a testament to the power of art to heal, to inspire, to remind us of the beauty that resides within us all. In the Grand Symphony of Time, Mendelssohn's Eternal Melody. In the Grand Symphony of Time, where countless melodies have risen and faded, Felix Mendelssohn's music continues to hold a place of honor. His legacy, like a shimmering thread, is woven into the very fabric of Western music. Its influence felt in every soaring symphony, every delicate piano piece, every poignant art song, that carries his spirit forward. Mendelssohn's voice, though stilled over a century and a half ago, continues to speak to us through his music. It's a voice that speaks of joy and sorrow, of love and loss, of the beauty and wonder that surround us each day. It's a voice that reminds us of the power of art to move, to inspire, to console, to connect us to something larger than ourselves. As long as there are hearts to be stirred, souls to be uplifted, and imaginations to be ignited, Mendelssohn's music will continue to weave its magic, reminding us that even in a world often shrouded in darkness, the light of genius, like a timeless melody, never truly fades.